The tools and weapons of wizards. Among warriors, the sword is their pride, the shield their defense. Among kings, the crown and scepter proclaim their power. But among wizards, creatures of lore and learning, their might is not worn upon the body, but channeled through tools both subtle and strange. These implements are more than weapons. They are companions, anchors, and vessels of the unseen. To understand them is to glimpse the very heart of wizardry itself. The staff. The staff is the most enduring symbol of the wizard. Tall, carved of wood, sometimes crowned with crystal or metal, it is more than a walking stick for an aged scholar. It is a channel, a conduit, a branch reaching between earth and sky. In the earliest days, wizards carried no staffs. They shaped magic with voice and hand alone. But as their powers grew, they discovered that their bodies could not bear the strain of prolonged incantations. Magic required a vessel to hold, to steady, to release. The staff became that vessel. Some staffs were simple, cut from ash or oak, carved with runes to attune them to their bearer. Others were crafted from rare wood soaked in moonlight, crowned with gemstones that pulsed with inner fire. A staff could store spells like a reservoir, releasing them in times of need. It could magnify the wizard's will, casting fire farther, calling storms with greater force. But the staff was more than weapon. It was a declaration of mastery. To carry one was to proclaim oneself not merely a student, but a practitioner of the arcane art. Many legends speak of staffs passed from master to apprentice, becoming heirlooms of great lineages of magic. The wand. If the staff is the oak, the wand is the branch. Slender, elegant, easily hidden, the wand is the wizard's tool of precision. Where the staff unleashes storms, the wand whispers. Where the staff levels mountains, the wand alters a single leaf. Wands are carved with meticulous care. Their cores may hold threads of silver, strands of hair from mystical beasts, shards of fallen stars. Each is unique, bound to its maker or wielder. A wand recognizes its master's touch and resists the hand of strangers. The wand excels in fine control, illusions woven like silk, locks undone with a twist of thought, subtle charms that leave no mark. It is the duelist's choice, the scholar's companion, the assassin's hidden blade. In court intrigue, wands were more feared than daggers, for they could strike unseen and leave no wound. Yet wands were not without danger. For all their elegance, they were fragile, quick to snap under strain. A staff could withstand raw chaos. A wand, in unsteady hands, might shatter, releasing stored power in violent ruin. Thus, the wand demanded discipline. The grimoire. If the staff and wand are channels of magic, the grimoire is its memory. Wizards are not born knowing spells. Each must be studied, inscribed, remembered. To hold so many incantations in the mind is near impossible, and so the grimoire was born. A grimoire is not a book like any other. Its pages may be parchment, but more often they are stretched skin, woven silk, even sheets of hammered silver. The ink is not common dye, but blood, ash, or the sap of rare plants. Each rune is more than symbol. It is a binding of power, a fragment of the spell itself. Some grimoires are small, carried in satchels. Others are vast tomes, chained in libraries, their locks sealed with enchantments that burn the eyes of thieves. A wizard's grimoire is as personal as their soul. To steal one is to steal their knowledge, their power, even their future. Legends tell of grimoires that wrote themselves, filling their pages with secrets whispered by spirits. Others were said to be alive, their words shifting and rearranging, revealing truths only when the reader was ready. The most feared were grimoires that demanded blood upon their pages, feeding upon their master even as they taught. The circle and the sigil. Not all wizards' tools can be carried. Some are drawn, carved, or inscribed upon the world itself. The circle is perhaps the oldest of magical tools, a line unbroken, symbol of perfection, of boundaries set between worlds. Within a circle, a wizard might summon fire without it spreading, call spirits without them escaping, weave spells with precision and stability. The circle is shield and prison both, shaping magic as surely as stone shapes a river. Sigils are their language, symbols etched in ash, chalk, or blood. Each stroke carries meaning, each curve echoes the laws of nature. A sigil drawn upon a wall may seal it against intruders. Etched upon a blade, it may cause the weapon to burn or never dull. Painted on the skin, it may guard the bearer from harm, or mark them for fate. Though easily overlooked, circles and sigils are among the wizard's most vital tools. Without them, many great spells would collapse, consuming their makers as well as their enemies. The familiar. Not all wizards' tools are made of stone or wood. Some breathe, think, and move. Familiars, creatures bound to the wizard's spirit, are both companions and instruments of power. A familiar might be a raven, its eyes seeing what its master cannot. It might be a cat, silent and watchful, slipping unseen where men cannot. Some take stranger forms, serpents that whisper secrets, hounds that smell lies, even beings of fire or shadow. The bond between wizard and familiar is deep. Through it, the wizard may see, hear, or act at a distance. The familiar becomes an extension of the wizard's own will. In return, the creature is sustained, strengthened, sometimes granted speech or thought beyond its kind. Yet this bond is perilous. Should the familiar be slain, the wizard feels the wound as if it were their own. Some have died in agony when their familiars were struck down. Others, too closely bound, lost their minds, their souls fractured when the bond was severed. Other tools of the arcane. Beyond these, wizards wield countless lesser tools, each crafted for purpose. The orb, a crystal sphere, focuses sight, revealing distant lands or hidden truths. It is the eye of the wizard, gazing where the body cannot. The rod, shorter than a staff but heavier than a wand, balances raw power with control, a weapon favored by battle mages. The cloak, often overlooked, shields the wizard not from weather, but from eyes, woven with threads that bend light, silence sound, or resist flame. The ring, small and discreet, may hold a single spell, ready to be unleashed with a gesture. Some wizards wore many, each a hidden reservoir of power. And there are rarer tools still, mirrors that hold souls, chains that bind spirits, masks that conceal not faces but true names. Each speaks to the wizard's endless desire to reach beyond mortal grasp. Weapons and warfare. Though wizards are scholars, their tools were not confined to the study. They were weapons in war. A staff could strike down cavalry with a storm. A wand could shatter an enemy's mind in silence. A circle, drawn in haste upon the ground, could hold back an army of shadows until dawn. Grimoires became treasures of conquest, guarded more jealously than gold. Kings waged wars not for land, but for a wizard's library. Familiars were sent as spies, seeing through walls and hearing behind closed doors. Yet the greatest danger of a wizard's arsenal was not the weapon itself, but the one who bore it. For in the hands of a wise man, a staff might heal the wounded. In the hands of a tyrant, it might burn cities to ash. The legacy of the wizard's tools. Today, the tools of wizardry linger in legend. Staffs lie in ruined towers, their crystals dimmed. Grimoires crumble in forgotten vaults, their runes fading into dust. Circles drawn in ancient battlefields remain faintly etched in stone, whispering power to those who dare to trace them. But their legacy endures beyond the objects themselves. The staff teaches us that power must be channeled. The wand, that precision matters more than might. The grimoire, that knowledge is both weapon and shield. The circle, that boundaries preserve as much as they restrain. The familiar, that no power is wielded alone. These are not merely tools. They are philosophies, lessons carved into wood, ink, and flesh. They remind us that wizardry is not born of chaos, but of discipline. That magic, unchecked, destroys, but shaped, refined, and wielded with care, it can change the world. And so the wizard's arsenal stands as testament to humanity's eternal struggle with the unseen. Weapons not of steel, but of will. Tools not for brute force, but for transformation. Symbols of the endless quest to hold, to shape, to master the mysteries of existence.